let me ask you guys something. What makes a great ending? Is it a bunch of characters that you've come to love finding resolution to their story arcs? Is it the story itself finding a satisfying conclusion? Or just seeing the smiling faces on characters, knowing that they accomplished their goals? Does that make a good ending to you? Because with episode 23 of Ranking of Kings today, I have to say, we accomplished all that and then some. We had an amazing ending for season 1. Now, I've made this story before, but I was hesitant to start this series at first. I was, because I didn't know how I would like it. The art style is different, to say the least. It is different than the bombastic and totally incredible animation you see nowadays. This is more of like a refined, older kind of animation style. But, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you get past that and you are going to find one incredible series. I actually teared up a little bit watching the last episode today. It was nothing short of fantastic and a perfect way to end the show. So let's get into it and let's talk about it for the final time until season 2. Please, season 2. We could have season 2 actually. There's some stuff we'll get into, but for now, for the final time, let's talk about Ranking of Kings, season 1 final. Now, our episode really does begin the second the last one left off, with Daida declaring he's going to marry Miranjo, to Queen Hilling's shock. Because obviously, she's the one that caused all these problems that have happened. She's the one that's destroyed the kingdom, put everyone in danger, and threatened her life herself, I should say, Queen Hilling's life. But Daida declares that he will take all her sins and all her grievances upon himself. And he vows that he will make her smile more than anyone. And it was a great scene, guys. It was a great scene to see Queen Hilling seeing just how much Daida has grown. Now, I've talked some shit about Daida over the course of the show, to be honest. I'll admit that. I'll admit that. Because, honestly, he really didn't do much. He got his body he became king, not even officially. They just made him king in the beginning of the show. He was kind of an asshole. He got his body stolen, and then he gets his body back like 2 episodes before the ending. And now he starts declaring all this. So he really hasn't done much, but honestly, that might have been the best thing for his character, because getting his body stolen and seeing the memories of his father and Miranjo really put things in perspective for him. And this episode really showcased how much he's grown as a character. He's damn near a different character now, guys. It's crazy. And Queen Hilling, seeing how much he's grown, even if she doesn't love the idea of him being with Miranjo, she can only be happy for her son, knowing that he himself has found happiness. Even everyone else there agrees that they're fine with it. And Miranjo herself vows that she's going to spend the rest of her life trying to make people happy. Again, just like her mother always wanted for her. Very touching scene, honestly. The looks on the characters' faces really got to me in this scene. But now we have another problem. With as much as Daida's grown, everyone is accepting of that. But Apis steps up and says, if you've grown so much, King Daida, I think you should relinquish the throne to Bojji. And everyone agrees with that sentiment. Because let's face it, guys. Daida certainly matured as a character, but Bojji, you want to talk about someone who deserves to be king, who holds probably the biggest burden on his back, is Bojji. And he's extremely hesitant. He doesn't feel like he's worth it enough. But leave it to Kage, dude, to give him a nice little 1,000 years of death real quick to perk him up. And he sees that everyone around him completely agrees with him. Completely agrees with Daida, who was going to give the throne to Bojji anyway. That Bojji makes an incredible king. And it's in that moment that we see Bojji start shedding a tear because of how just emotional he is. That everyone just unanimously agrees that he should be king. And he becomes king. And when they hoisted him up in the air and he sees the horizon in the background and he starts crying, guys, that's when I started to cry a little bit, because our whole series has come to this. Every episode has really led to this scene, and I couldn't have asked for a more picture-perfect scene. Just seeing all the people around him that have supported him over the course of the series, and the people there that have doubted him over the course of the series, just all together, coming together and just rejoicing in the fact that he accomplished his goal and became king. It was heartwarming. It really gets to you. Unless you're like cold-hearted, that really got to you. So Bojji is now the king of the kingdom. And everyone's happy. Everyone is super happy. Everyone's in a great mood. But Kage is off to the side a little bit. And he's hesitant himself because now that Bojji's king, he feels like Bojji doesn't need him anymore. He was always admiring Bojji, his strength, his perseverance, his will to never give up. And Kage was always there to push him forward. But now that Bojji's king, Kage believes that he doesn't need me. He believes that he's not worthy to stand next to him, seeing as how he was a thief when we first met him. He was a crook. He feels he's not worthy to stand next to Bojji anymore, now that he's the king. So he decides to leave. Without telling anyone, he just decides to up and leave right there as he's wishing Bojji the best of luck. And it takes Bojji a little bit to realize that Kage's not there, but when he does, he's heartbroken. He carries out his duties as a king, obviously, but everyone around him can tell that he is just miserable, that he just can't handle it. You gotta think, guys, like, Bojji, being as great as he is, probably wouldn't have accomplished anything he did in the show if Kage was not there for him the entire time, pushing him forward. I'm telling you guys, get yourself a friend like Kage. Kage is like the best friend you could ever have. Get you a friend like Kage. And he's heartbroken. And seeing this, Queen Hilling tells everyone, get out the throne room. I need to talk to him alone. And you think she's going to yell at him about how a king should be, how he can't be gloomy and all that. He carries the burden of the kingdom himself. But Queen Hilling's changed too, guys. She's changed dramatically over the course of the show. And at first, she does say that to him. That a king has to be strong, that he carries the happiness of the kingdom on his shoulders. Then she takes her son's hand and tells him that you have to follow your own path that you feel like is right. You know, at the end of the day, it's good to have responsibility and to make other people happy, but you yourself have to be happy. You yourself have to find a resolution at the end of your life. And just seeing that just really makes me realize how much Queen Hilling has grown over the course of the series. Seeing her two children step up and become the men that they are now has truly moved her. And it was a very emotional scene. Bojji starts crying. She tells him, go follow your dreams and do what you feel you have to do in your life. Basically saying, go after Kage. And we see the 4 pillars of the kingdom coming down, even with Hokuro there crying his eyes out. We see the 4 pillars there, and they have no words to yell. They can't yell at Bojji for this. They accept it, because they know what's best for Bojji is to live his own life. So he goes out and he finds Kage, and this scene, guys, was the second time I teared up a little bit in the episode, I'll be honest, because what a great scene, because Kage took it upon himself to, I have to be strong for Bojji. No matter what happens, I'll go out and live my own life. I'll do what I can on my own. I won't get discouraged. And just everything starts going wrong with him. Because we see that people still discriminate against his people, the Shadow Clan. They still hold ill feelings towards them and consider them harbingers of doom. So he still has to deal with a lot of hardship in his life. And just the whole time as he's going through this, he's just thinking of Bojji. And he tells himself, no, I can't. I'm just going to make myself more lonely. So when Bojji just comes jumping out that grass, man, and we just see the look on both their faces, it really gets to you. Because Queen Hilling said it best herself, that Kage is like the sun shining upon your face, and you are that to him. He's like you two are like good luck charms to each other. You bring out the best in each other. So go be together. So Bojji goes and finds him, and Kage is like, what are you doing? You're a king now. You can't be doing this. But it turns out that Bojji gave his kingship back to Daida, and he wants to go on a journey with Kage, which I think is the most fitting thing ever for Bojji's character, guys. You just can't imagine him sitting on a throne right there forever with the vast, huge world out there to explore. So he takes Kage's hand, and they decide to go on an adventure. Because Bojji himself wants to do what Boss did. He wants to make his own kingdom. And I thought that was such a perfect thing to do. Like, what a perfect thing for Bojji to do as a character. Make his own kingdom like his father. Forge his own path. And become the man he wants to be. And just the final scene of them running off into the sunset like that to go on this harrowing adventure around the world to build Bojji's kingdom is just the most perfect ending you could ask for. Even my boy Dorsch, I don't want to overlook that, man, but even my boy Dorsch got the queen. He bagged Hilling at the end of the show. I don't want to overlook that, guys. My boy. He got the queen. They didn't directly say it, but man, let's be honest, they're bumping boots, man. My boy got it. And to see Moranjo get a satisfying ending too, honestly, is really good. I like that a lot. Because besides Bojji, I'd argue she suffered the most out of every character in this series. And to see her finally free of her pain, of the shackles that she put herself in over the course of her life, was just great. Hopefully Daida can keep his promise and bring that smile back, but we'll see in Season 2. Because we have a lot of things, actually, that did not get resolved. Like, remember the crazy guy from earlier in the series that Bojji met in the woods? He actually comes back, and he frees Oaken. And he separates Oaken's head from his body, and then a fish eats Oaken's head. So that's not resolved. Oaken is coming back. Plus, we have to deal with the vault still. Desha going into the vault from our previous episode. Like, as we know, everyone who goes into the vault loses their mind. So it really makes me wonder, like, is Desha going to be the villain of Season 2? Oaken will definitely come back, just in what capacity? So we still have plenty of story to tell, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. But what an amazing ending to Ranking of Kings Season 1, guys. Just what an amazing series, you know? That I'm so glad that I was able to sit down and do these videos with for you guys. This is going to be a little longer of a video, but that's fine with me. Because I just wanted to say how much I love this series and how much I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through it. So thank you. Thank you very much. But let me know how you guys feel down below about the final of Ranking of Kings Season 1. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you loathe it? Or did you like it? Let me know down below. But that'll be it for today's video, guys. I hope you guys have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, and have a blessed day.